What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Adam Mentality World. Got the WrestleMania 33 predictions video. I got my predictions. I got my buddy Zoe's. I got my buddy Manny's. I got my WrestleMania 31 jacket. I got Arby's. This is also a sponsor of the show. Psych. They're not a sponsor. I have no sponsors. I'm just doing this from my parents' basement. I still think that's funny. That's what someone thought where I live and where I do this stuff. I wish I did, because then my rent would be free. But it's not. Alright, so WrestleMania 33. Real quick, don't forget to like below, comment, tell me who you think's gonna win. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm on point? Don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate every single one of you who subscribe. I know everybody says, oh, whatever, but I do appreciate it. Every time I see my number go up, it makes me happy. Alright, that's it. 13 matches, my predictions, my buddy's predictions. Let's get into it. First one, we got Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. The three top contenders are Sami Zayn, that's who Manny picked, Braun Strowman, that's who my buddy Zoe picked, and the Big Show, who I picked. I think Big Show should win because he had a great career. This is probably his last WrestleMania, and at least when he retires, he can say he's the only person to win it twice. Since he didn't get the Shaq match. Like I said, he's had a great career. He was bad when they wanted him to be bad. He was good when they wanted him to be good. He did exactly what he was told. He was a company man. He helped promote the company, and for that, I think he should win. Next up, we got for the Cruiserweight Title, match number 2, we have Austin Aries versus Neville, the current champion. Story-wise, this is alright. You got Neville, who's a really bad guy. Austin Aries, who's like the cool, good guy. He's not really a good guy. He's just like cool. I think Aries is going to win. My buddy Zoe agreed. My buddy Manny thinks Neville's going to win. I think it'd be bad for Austin Aries to come back and then lose. Just kind of, oh, we built him up. Like that. So he could win this one and they compete at Payback or 205 Live, which nobody watches, and Neville could win it back and they could go back and forth and have a really good guy and a really good bad guy. And that's what I think. Tag team title for Raw. All my buddies, like I said right here, this is what it used to look like, and then they went with the whole Christmas theme in the silver and red. Also, real quick, I saw that the WrestleMania Superstore had this right here, but they had the New Day strap, which I thought was pretty cool. I admit it's cheesy looking, but I'm a big New Day fan, so I like it. Anyway, into this particular match, you got Enzo and Cass versus Sheamus and Cesaro versus the Club, aka Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Not the same guy. One guy's hairy, one guy's bald as poo. It's going to be a ladder match, which is kind of obvious because you saw Raw. They start pulling out ladders out of nowhere and like, oh, okay, this is going to happen. BAM! And then Sheamus gets hit in the face and he's got a third eye going on right there. I think we all agree on this one. I think in the end, when they all win, when it's all said and done, you're going to, what do we got here? What do we got over here? A couple tag team champions. And Enzo and Cass, I think they're going to win. My buddies agree. I think what could make it even more special is if when they win it, it's because Enzo gets on top of Big Cass's shoulders and Enzo's able to reach up and grab him, because Big Cass is a tall dude. They always talk about and he's 7 foot tall and you can't teach that. And what makes it better if he actually used him as a ladder. I realize Jericho and Big Show tried this before, but it wasn't successful. This could be successful. Fourth match, got for the Smackdown Women's Championship. You got Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Becky, Mickie James, Carmella, and Natalya. Let's all agree, Carmella and Natalya, not going to win it. Mickie James, maybe, but probably not. Which leaves Alexa Bliss, which is who Manny thinks is going to win. Zoe thinks Naomi's going to win, and I just picked Becky because I'm a big fan of Becky Lynch. I like her puns. I think she's funny. That works for me. I don't know how it's going to happen. I think it's going to be, like every time they have one of these matches, all it is, it's going to end up like, as soon as one person does their finisher, the next one will do their finisher, boom, 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 until the last person does their finisher, and they win. Fifth match, we got Triple H versus Seth Rollins. If this match happens, my buddies pick Seth, but if this match happens, I think Triple H is going to win because I think Samoa Joe is going to interfere. That way they can build up for it later, because right now Seth Rollins is hurt and they can't have a legitimate match. I think Samoa Joe comes out, beats up Seth Rollins. That way Seth Rollins can go away, get healed, come back better and stronger than ever, and they can have an actual match between Seth Rollins and Triple H where there's nobody interfering and they just fight each other, and then Seth can finally go over. I would not be surprised if Samoa Joe beats up Seth Rollins backstage before the match and they don't even actually have it. So Seth is on the card, but doesn't actually get to compete on the card. So that's it. My buddies picked Seth. I got Triple H. Sixth match, we got Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. This belt's going to change soon, just like the NXT titles. Curious to see what that's going to look like. Storyline-wise, I don't care about this match. I'm sure the match will be a decent match. They're both decent workers. Storyline-wise, though, like I said, Dean Ambrose is going to does not make you a lunatic. I'm sorry, that just means you're thirsty or something. And Baron Corbin sounds like Napoleon Dynamite. Idiot! So I'm not a fan of his, but we all agree. Oh, I'm sorry. I think Baron's going to go over. My buddy Zoe thinks Baron's going to go over, but Manny thinks Dean's going to go over. So that's the seventh match. Then we got AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. This one kind of makes me mad because AJ Styles is one of the greatest wrestlers on SmackDown, Raw, NXT, Ring of Honor, anything like that. He's one of the greatest, and he's being thrown in there with Shane McMahon. No offense to Shane McMahon, but you're not a legitimate wrestler, and you should not be at WrestleMania. I feel like at this point, for the last 2 years, Shane goes, Daddy, I want to be at WrestleMania. Oh, well, who do you want to wrestle? Undertaker. Well, make it happen. And this year, I want to wrestle AJ. Well, make it happen. And then you're getting two great wrestlers being thrown into with Shane McMahon. Like I said, no offense to Shane, but he really only is there for that one spot. Like last year, he jumped off the Hell in a Cell. This year, he'll have another spot, but AJ Styles will go over, and we all agree. For the ninth match, it's for the United States Championship, which is also supposedly going to change soon, too. You got Jericho, break the walls down! And Kevin Owens, who I met before. I think this one, my buddies picked Kevin Owens to go over this one. I think what you should do, what I'm going to go with, is I think they're going to be going back and forth. They're going to have a great match together. But I think at some point, you're going to hear, do. And Samoa Joe's going to come out and be like, again? You already came out here once and you ruined it for Seth, and you're going to ruin it for Jericho too? He's going to come out there, beat up Jericho. Excuse me, but then, whoa, whatever, however it goes, I can't think of it off the top of my head. Sami Zayn's music is going to come out. He's going to get a huge pop. Then he's going to come out there and help Chris Jericho beat Kevin Owens. So then Jericho wins, and Sami's going to win. Or not win, but he'll be on the good side. And I wouldn't be surprised if after that Stephanie kicks him out. Then he'll probably go to Smackdown. So that's how I think that match is going to go. Then we got the 10th match. We got Cena, Nikki versus Miz and Maurice. My buddies picked Nikki and John Cena, which is the logical decision. If you're going to go with one you've got, you got to go with them. But what I think should happen, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I think Miz and Maurice need to go over on this. If John Cena and Nikki Bella lose, they're not. It's going to be fine. They're going to be back to the top in no time. But then again, also, Cena only does it part-time right now because he's getting older. He does movies. He's been great so far. I'm not pooping on him. And Nikki Bella, this might be her last match. Miz and Maurice might go on and do other stuff. Miz could go on to fight for the WWE Championship, but he can't do that if he loses to John Cena at WrestleMania. So I think Miz and Maurice need to win clean, not cheat. So then John Cena can kind of shake his hand and give him the whole like you did good, like kind of like what Rock did to him when they fought. And what was it? I think he should do that. But then they leave, and then John Cena gets on the microphone and is like, "Well, sorry everybody, I did the best I could. I lost tonight, but in the end, I win." And then he does the proposal, which everybody thinks is going to happen. So then Miz and Maurice win, John Cena and Nikki Bella win. It's a win for everybody. All right, for the 11th match, wait, that's 11. Got Roman Reigns versus Undertaker. This one kind of, it made me mad at first. I said to give Undertaker Roman, but you got to be honest, I said WWE's clearly going to go with Roman Reigns. There's nothing we can do about it. You can boo him and hate him, whatever you want. They just think, oh, okay, they're just booing him because he's a bad guy. Even though it's not the same kind of boo. It's like Evil Marie boo, who, by the way, is probably gone now. See ya! She blocked me on Instagram, and I don't care. Maybe a little. Okay. Roman Reigns versus Undertaker. Roman Reigns has to win this match. My buddy Zoe agreed with me and Roman. Manny picked Undertaker. I said, the streak doesn't exist anymore. Undertaker doesn't have to win at WrestleMania. Ever since he lost to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30, then he squashed Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt Bray Wyatt really could have used that win over Undertaker, but they didn't give it to him. Then once again, Daddy, I want to wrestle Undertaker. Shane got last year. So now you got Undertaker versus Roman, and they're fighting over the yard, trying to figure out who the big dog is. Spoiler alert, it's Roman. Because Roman is the future, Undertaker's the past. Roman has to win. He's gonna get a huge like boo, whatever. It's gonna be probably the loudest point of the entire show right there when Roman Reigns wins. Next up match, let's do this, people. 10-12 is Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. I realize that's for the WWE Championship, by the way. I realize a lot of people were kind of using the whole Satan thing a lot on here, but if he's teleporting and stuff like that, that's probably not something like normal people could do. That's voodoo and blah blah, all kind of devil stuff anyway. So it doesn't really bother me too much. Who did my buddies pick? My buddy Zoe picked Bray. My buddy Manny picked Orton. For storyline purposes, I think Orton should win this one. That way, because right now, if Bray wins, then it kind of like it doesn't really do too much. But I think Orton should win, and then maybe Bray has to has to serve Randy now because he realizes, oh, you're better than me or whatever. And at some point, he just stamps, and then he beats Randy Orton, and then he could come out on top. But I wouldn't be surprised if Bray wins. I wouldn't be surprised if Luke Harper comes out and helps one of them. Eric Rowan comes out and helps somebody. But a big surprise would be I'd look for Bo Dallas to come out and help Bray Wyatt because he's talked good about him recently. Previously, he said he didn't want to work with Bo. Now he's saying Bo's a really good wrestler. And the other day when I saw Bo Dallas, he had a beard going on. Who else is known for having a beard besides Duck Dynasty? Bray Wyatt. And all the Wyatt family. So I think they're prepping up Bo to go to the Wyatt family. I don't know if he's going to come at WrestleMania or later on, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. All right, for the last and final match we have for 13. There we go. We got Goldberg versus Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Let's be honest. Even if Lesnar does win, they're talking about like, oh, if Lesnar wins, then they tied, whatever. No, if Lesnar wins, it's still 2-1. He beat him at WrestleMania 20. He beat him at like Survivor Series, and now if Lesnar wins, it's 2-1. That's not the same. I don't care if it's for the title or for whatever we want to call it. It's not the same. Goldberg still comes out on top. I think what they should do. Let me see what my buddies picked. Get that out real quick. My buddies picked Brock to win. What I think they should do is they should have Goldberg, because every time Goldberg fights Lesnar, it comes up near him, he spears him. Only one time has Brock Lesnar got the F5 on him recently, and that was at Raw, which doesn't really count. So every time he comes up next to him, he spears him and then lays him out. And Brock's just like, oh god, my stomach, my diverticulitis. So he does that. I think they should start the match out, and then Goldberg goes to spear him. Brock Lesnar moves, he misses him, and Brock's like, ha ha ha, I tricked you, I'm smarter than you, and like turns around for a second, and boom! Then Goldberg spears him, picks him up, jackhammer, beats him, 1, 2, 3, and then like, oh my gosh, and Paul Heyman has a backup plan, and he comes in and is like, Mr. Goldberg, you are the better wrestler. I can't argue with you on that point. You beat him again. Goes to shake his hand. While he's doing that, he's talking to him. Brock Lesnar on the outside, healing up. Maybe he gets a chair. Boom! Hits Goldberg. Beats the living heck out of him. Puts him through both the tables. Throws him through another table. Just throws him through a barrier. Does all that kind of stuff. Puts the chair on his leg. Like this. Bing! And it's like he breaks his ankle. Then Goldberg's out. And next thing you know, Goldberg has to retire. Or whatever. I don't know if there needs to be air quotes. He retires because he can't compete anymore because he's too old and he's hurt. Then they have to take the title from him, so then they have like a gauntlet thing where they build up to it, and then Lesnar finally gets to go against somebody at, say, Payback. Then he wins the title. Then Goldberg is gone. He went out on top basically because he beat Lesnar clean all 3 times. But then Lesnar is the guy when Goldberg's not there, and since Goldberg's not there, Lesnar's the guy. And that is it. So I'm picking Goldberg for that one. So while editing, I realized I completely forgot the Raw Women's Championship between Nia Jax, Bayley the Champ, Sasha, and Charlotte. I think the 3 of them are to come together to be 3 of the 4 horsewomen to eliminate Nia. That makes her look strong. The Dana's going to mess up for Charlotte. Then you got Bayley and Sasha. Manny's got Sasha. Me and Zoe got Bayley. I think Bayley's going to win, so Sasha can turn heel that night or the next night on Raw. That's it. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Instagram as well at Adamentality, not at Adamentality World. Let me know what you think about the matches, about the belts, everything else like that. Love talking about wrestling with each and every one of you. From here on out, peace.